What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. As you can see, I actually managed to get the right button this evening. So we clicked the right button. We have the right screen. Welcome back and happy Thanksgiving to anybody who may be celebrating it. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so we're not. It's just Thursday night for us. Strictly Come Dancing isn't on. You know, I'm a celebrity still making it happen, but it is Thursday night here. But anyone who's celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I hope your turkey was delightful. All I seem to see on TikTok today, as well as social media shorts, was people cooking turkeys, all right? So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, but welcome in and hopefully having a good day. So, we'll talk a little bit tonight. I thought we'd get into a kind of, I don't want to say bullish scenarios, but let's talk about what is sort of playing out right now. Market continuing to rally, obviously since the bottom that we came around 82.5-ish. You know, markets continue to move to the upside. In 6 days, we've only had 2 of those days have been red. And actually, momentum is certainly feeling like it's with us. We're up nearly 10% now in 6 days. So, you know, it's a pretty strong move overall. And is there more to come? I think what's interesting today is you had Bitcoin move about 1%. The altcoin market, it's been a little bit slow today with a couple of pullout coins. You know, Quant continuing continuing its rally-ish. You've got AIOZ now up 15% on the day. So there's a couple of coins in there, like Pepe's having a decent run, that I think is worth touching. We'll look at a little bit of macro stuff going on because I think that is worthwhile, and everything and anything in between. So as always, do me a favor, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, I highly recommend doing that as well. And likewise, tap the screen, lock in a few likes. If you feel like dropping a heart me, then great. It supports the channel. Never expected. Greatly received as always. Again, if you just share it out and let people know that we're here, that would be great. I imagine tonight could be one of those streams that'll either be super popular as everyone's like, had their turkey and now they're like, oh man, should we just watch 2bit, talk about some crypto stuff? Or everyone's going to go, screw 2bit, I can't be bothered tonight. We're going to do anything else. What are your thoughts on Plume? I don't really have some. I feel like we talked about this ages and ages ago. I feel like it came up as a bit of a community discussion, but it was like a long time ago. Anyway, with that being said, get Superfan 50% off the first month through Superfan sale. There you go. Look, if you're interested, then you can get involved. Do you know? Let me read this comment. I like this. Champion Kick Clips says you are the same 99% who lose at crypto. Being honest, look, I like your honesty. The trouble is your honesty is based on flawed logic, which is you have no idea who I am. This is your first ever time to this channel. So you've got no clue about what we've done or where we've been or what we've done at all. So look, I appreciate your comments. And here's the thing. Here's the kicker. This community knows exactly where we're at. You've got no idea. So, I mean, fine. If you think I've lost 99% like everyone else, cool. You enjoy and have a great day. That's what I would say. Anyway, what's going on, Magic Craig? Welcome in. Good to see you. Robert Dover's here as well. Tim's here. Fairground's in the building. Good to see you, Fairground. Swamp, Crackerjack. IJ, what's going on? Welcome from Birmingham. What's going on, buddy? Smart Pete's here as well. Welcome in, Robert Dover. Griff, good to see you. Griff, I haven't seen you for a while. Welcome in. Selbo. Gobble up some Monad. Yeah, Monad took a bit of a dump today. I don't think it's anything outside of the ordinary, if I'm honest. Tony says, happy Thanksgiving. What's going on, Tony? Welcome in, buddy. And everyone else. So, let's get into the news of the day. TJ, what's going on, TJ? Good to see you, pal. Welcome in. What is the story of the day? Well, look at this. The Cramer pump. That's officially what it is. There you go. Jim Cramer obviously picked the literal bottom of the Bitcoin market. Cramer saying that he is now bearish on Bitcoin. We're going to zero and everyone should be out. Go on, Jim. Let's get it. Let's get it, bro. Jim's hooked us up. And yeah, the market seemed to have rallied since then. So the Cramer bounce, brilliant news. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on the charts. And then we'll get into a little bit more in terms of a macro stance. But what do we have with Bitcoin? Well, look at this. We continue to rally. Bitcoin just under 91,500, up about 1.08% on the day. What's worth noting is volume is reasonably low today. Turkey Twisters 2-bit. They still even make them. Volume's a little bit down today. We still see an upside momentum, which, again, you could attribute that to the fact that it's going to take less to move it more. I get that. But at the same time, you kind of go, well, yeah, kind of decent move on the upside. This is going to be the key line for me. This 20-day exponential moving average is where we're probably going to look at retesting. I don't necessarily think it'll be tomorrow, man. I was hoping to wear this hoodie, but it's super hot here. 1 second, everybody. 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. Man, I didn't realize I was so far away from the YouTube camera. Right. I did not realize I had to go so far away then. Man, does that mean you guys saw me last night? Weird. Anyway, yeah, so this is going to be the key test, and I think it actually comes in, you know, if we can get some more momentum tomorrow. Obviously, most general markets are closed, so the crypto market may benefit from this, maybe not. We will certainly see. And then look further upside, this is where we're looking for. 20-day exponential moving average also aligns to a key resistance level that we've seen here. I know that line's not straight, but you know, this kind of 92.5K is very much a resistance level that if you look at the previous where it became support, this is obviously going to be quite a big important move. So we're going to retest this range here. This aligns to the 20-day exponential moving average. So a break here could actually be pretty good news. I wouldn't be surprised at all, by the way, if we saw some sort of break up to the upside, retest the 100K, the $98,500. This is the big, if you like, this is like the bull market indicator. Do you know what I mean? If we break this line and can continue upside, then good news. Bull market's back on, and, you know, hopefully we get into that world. What's probably more likely is we'll probably come up. We may retest this, maybe get rejected. If not, you'd argue we're probably going to come retest the $98,000, 98 and a bit, by the way. Probably come down. We may even only come down to about 96.5K, depending on what happens in the market. Before then, a potential secondary retest, then potentially a breakdown. Now, you may be thinking, well, too bad. How do you know? Like, what do you mean? Might do a second retest, might not do it. It's all going to depend on market structure as we go up again. So you could argue, that's not what I wanted to do at all. You could argue here, and it probably is a little bit easier if we just put this fib in, and that gives us kind of a bit more of a, you know, a bit more of an idea of sort of where we are. But look at that. Look how much of this aligns. The 382 Fibonacci is perfectly. In fact, the fib is perfectly on these lines that we just drew on the chart, which is kind of wild if you think about it. We're overbought, coming down, then back up. Robert, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But this is kind of where it starts to play out. So you can see here that the Fibonacci at the 382 line, 99,570, if you like, is essentially the bull market sign. That's kind of where we've got to see. And then equally the 236 Fibonacci, the break back above. This is kind of no man's land. So, you know, we could definitely see a little bit more momentum tomorrow. We could definitely see a little bit more momentum coming in tomorrow. ICP's, I thought ICP was going to have done like 20% or something like that. But keep your eyes peeled. I think this is going to be a critical couple of days on the price of Bitcoin. And I think equally, look at the divergence here. So the 236 Fibonacci, the 20-day exponential moving average, a key resistance line that turns support. So this is going to be a big number. And I think if we break this, I absolutely believe we'll retest here. This will be on the point, the 382 Fibonacci. And again, if we break this, as you can see here, look how much there's support it offered right back here. As we were coming down with pretty big sell pressure, by the way, this is probably the biggest support line we've seen of all of these Fibonacci's. Look at the touch points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There isn't another line that has been touched and then moved 6 more times. So yeah, pretty interesting, by the way, as this kind of plays out. So I think these lines are going to be critical as we kind of go in. Rob, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. I think these lines are going to be really critical. Where does that look on a more macro side of things? You know, we've been breaking this down, and it, you know, although the market's green, it's not been going crazy, which actually, in my opinion, is probably okay. It's probably okay. I don't think we want to see, you know, like absolute batshit mental, batshit mental moves. But here on the weekly candles, again, you can see this 618 Fibonacci that we came back down. You can see how this kind of pulls back up. So the 786, 102,000 would be a good weekly close above the 98K again that we're seeing. So you can see here this resistance line that's coming in. So a couple of things to think about, I think, specifically when you talk charts, which will be, look, we need to break back above on the daily candles these two indicating lines here, about $92,500, and then equally that 98, 99,000. So I think for me right now, these are the ones that I'm watching. These are very much the kind of bull market signals that we want to see these lines break above. So keep your eyes on that. Now, what's interesting, though, is when you start to look on some of these altcoin charts, and if you remember, we have literally had these lines drawn on here forever. I mean, it is genuinely forever, isn't it? We've had these lines on, but look at the respect that we got on the Ethereum bounce, and then right now we're retesting this upper range on ETH. So if we break this range, we might be starting to see a nice little move back on Ethereum, which would be pretty bullish in fairness. Where would that then let us get to? What would be the next possible price target, specifically when we start talking about ETH? I'm doing it the wrong way. Specifically when we start talking about Ethereum, which I think is going to be important. Let me just get this right. We'll take it back from the original move, like here. So again, you'll be looking at something like 32.50, I think, could be a possible retest. Again, we can see there, look how much that came in as a support line. It's probably going to align to that 100-day exponential moving average. I do think what's important, though, here, the 200 exponential moving average just ever so slightly starting to tick back. So this is why I think that it's really important to just, talk about, is the bull market going to come back? Well, what's the macro that's going to push the markets? Right now, this market pump is absolutely on two things. One, potential Fed rate cuts coming in December. And two, Kevin Hassett. All right, so if you haven't seen my Bitcoin video today, go and watch it. But Kevin Hassett, pro-crypto, ex-advisor at Coinbase, holds over it's undisclosed, but they reckon between $1 and $5 million of Coinbase stock. Like, Kevin Hassett is going to be big. And I think him with Paul Atkins could be like a pretty crazy, like, crypto bro event, whatever you want to call it. So I think it's going to be important to think about. And I think it may, I don't want to get super bullish ahead of myself, it may indicate, or at least give us the opportunity that we might see a little bit more upside moves. One of the other key things to think about, rate cuts. We've been discussing it for a while. Rate cuts certainly feel like they're on the agenda. Polymarket now having an 85% chance that we're going to see that rate cut in December, which, look, I'm there. Like, we're done. That, for me, that's priced in now. Well, is it priced in? I don't think it's priced in. It's psychologically priced in, if that makes sense. But we're counting the days down to the 10th of December. 87% is where the current Fed predictions are. So it's down about 0.3%. No biggie. I'm still waiting to see the candle come on for the 50 basis points. We're not quite there yet. But what is fair to say is that certainly the 10th of December, people are getting around that theory of, well, yeah, okay, jobs maybe aren't great. And actually employment, we'll touch on in a minute, does continue to come down. But Fed cuts, I think, are pretty much guaranteed on right now. Anthony Greco, what's going on, bro? I think we're absolutely not. Market manipulation, well, I'll talk about that as well, because there's some interesting stuff going on with, when we talk market manipulation, obviously we've seen a load of stuff. We touched on it yesterday, a little bit of stablecoin movement with Binance, etc. But we will see. All right, we'll talk about it. I've got a few bits I want to discuss when it comes to exchanges. But I want to talk a little bit about what is some key things right now to just keep your eyes on, all right? Because a lot of people have flipped again, right? All you have to do is look on YouTube, right? I actually saw, and it's a little bit naughty, and when people say to me, oh, here he is, I mean, no one says this really, but they're like, oh, here he is, Mr. Clickbait, which has happened before. Like, there is some pretty interesting, this one here, like, I sold everything, and you got it, and they're like, real estate, stocks, just to buy crypto. Like, people are flipping way more bullish now than they've been for a long time, right? Way more bullish than we've been, which I'm like, okay, cool. Remember, when the sheep go bullish, we need to just understand what is happening, right? We don't follow, we're absolutely not. Oh my God, there's a 2-bit crypto in the chat. That's not me. Don't. In fact, Casey, can you? Look at that. Casey's on it, bro. Man, you're worth the 10 ETH that I pay you every single night to do that. Thank you for the Wilder UK. Thank you so much for the the heart me and becoming a fan. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Fed cut quantitative tightening ending December 1st. Boom. Well, let's talk about it. So, what are some of the macro things to think about that may drive this market up? Okay. US spot demand is bouncing. If you remember, we touched on this chart ages ago. The premium index, specifically for Coinbase, we've said that historically, when you see big spot demand and big premium rates, that actually we see negative movements in the price. So look at these two big spikes, 17th and the 20th of November. When you put the both into the Bitcoin chart, you can see that these are massive dumps in the market. So 17th liquidated down here, and then we have the 20th, obviously this massive candle down here. So generally speaking, big events here, big premium rates generally coincide with dumps in the market, okay? Which is important. Yeah, I'm ignoring him and more bothered about the chart. What you can see, though, is this is now starting to flatten out, which basically means you have got less volatility, which might support a potential further rallying upside. Rob, I haven't bought any other cryptocurrencies. The only thing I have done is stack a little bit more stable coins. So I'm in a place now where, yeah, like if this market flips, let's say, and we'll talk a bit more about this probably on Sunday night stream, actually. Let's say we break back above 98,000. Let's say that we hold 98,000. We break with solid move, which isn't like a 6% pump on Sunday, because that'll be a bit mental. We probably need a decent day tomorrow, close out maybe 92,800, 93,000 would be pretty nice. Then going to Saturday a little bit further, 95, 95 and a half, giving us a couple of G's to get through. That'd be like 2.5%, 2%, maybe 2.5 on Sunday as well, rather than flat tomorrow, because of the markets are closed, reasonably boring on Saturday, and then we do a 6% move on Sunday. Like, I'm not about that. I'm not about that. Albeit last weekend was a little bit different. So anyway, premium rate index looking pretty good. Now, this I thought was interesting, and you might say, what the hell has this got to do with crypto? But I actually think it's pretty interesting. So they just added the tariff revenue to the US debt clock, and we flipped the script. Now, why is this important? Well, this is my interpretation of why it's important, by the way. Is that there is clearly an incentive here, or a desire, or a distraction technique, depends how you look at it, that tariff revenue is going to be the big driver of 2026, right? This is, you might as well write a big, like, stimulus across here, right? Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. In fact, we're going to do it. We're going to actually do it. Here we go, look. Stimulus. Oh, you can't really see it. That's so disappointing. That's so disappointing. Can I not do like an outline? Oh, bro, come on. Really? Bro, no way, bro. Oh, maybe, hold on a minute. Bold. I can do bold. I can't do an outline. That is terrible. Jesus Christ. That is the worst thing in the world. Anyway, right. Let's do it in, let's just do it in like, green. There we go. Green's a little bit there. Stimulus. Oh man, you really can't see it. Jesus, this is turning out to be not the greatest of ideas I've ever had. Right. There we go. Is that better? Stimulus. That's basically what it means, right? There we go. God, we got there in the end. That took a little bit of pain. But anyway, this is essentially what it is, right? This is essentially what it is, which is kind of a bit like, hey, you know, ignore this bit. Ignore the US national debt and the fact that it keeps going up and that there is a massive debt per citizen of 111,000. They're like, hey, you're going to get $3,000. Like, this is pretty exciting. Let's get ready. So, yeah, it's still terrible, by the way. What do I think of ETH? Yeah, I still like ETH, by the way. I think ETH's still got a good opportunity and is holding really structurally well on the charts. We just looked at ETH, actually, in fairness. So, yeah, I'm still optimistic. The US debt clock added new metric. Tariff revenue means foreign countries are now paying US instead of US paying them. So, if anything, I think this is another power play from the Trump administration to try and get the Supreme Court not to vote against tariffs. But this will be the number that will be flaunted. I'm sure it's exaggerated, but, you know, ignore this and then think about stimulus. Okay, that's kind of what it's all about. So, interesting, right? Now, what is also interesting, and I was looking at this the other day, and obviously in the industry I work in normally, this is actually a big metric of performance of a business, right? So let me tell you a little story why I think this is important. And I came across it and I thought, oh, that might be a pretty interesting chart to discuss because I don't think anyone else is talking about it. And similar to when we talked about cars, automobiles, cars inventories, which I think is another indicator of expansive or contractive markets. And we were looking a little bit about that the other night. So capex spending, for those who don't know what it is basically where you spend money on, let's say, like aesthetics or new equipment or anything to better the business. It's outside of traditional running costs, so anything like labor. You might be like revamping a site or building new sites or whatever, right? It's kind of additional spending that isn't about the operation of the business. So what's interesting, though, is capex generally seems to be the first thing that goes and the last thing that gets spent. So if you've got a business that is underperforming, let's say, for example, so you've got somewhere that maybe the profits are down, revenue is down, you know, all that kind of stuff, then you will generally see less capex spending, okay? They don't generally see it. The other side of it is if you have a booming business. So the company I work for is going to report a very good year, right? The company's had a really good year, like 3-figure million, 160 million profit, whatever it is. So the capex budget's gone like crazy. They're just like, hey, we've got like 200 grand if you want to go and spend on some capex budget. You're like, hey, that's great. Like, let's get this done. But the fact you've got a boom in the tech sector on capex means they're in spending way more money. So we touched on this yesterday. The AI bubble still very much a thing, but they're absolutely dumping huge amounts. Think about this: .com bubble peak of 2000, 39%. That's how much they were spending on capex at the .com bubble. We're way above that. 45% on capex spending in S&P 500 companies, right? That's a big deal. Partly because of the AI race, partly because of the tech race, but commodity sectors is actually down. So if you think about kind of S&P 500, then you think about where you've got gold treasuries, mining companies, whatever it is. Actually, the spending there is down. Like AI is driving this market like you wouldn't believe, okay? And I think whenever you've got this demand on AI, which doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, we talked about this the other night, even the Trump administration has almost flipped out of crypto in the short term and is now pumping this AI sector like crazy. Nvidia has a bigger market cap than the entire economy of Japan, and that continues to rally. Google now with these TPU chips, looking like it's going to take something like 16% of the chip market. Like, all of a sudden, this whole idea is that there could be just billions of dollars still sat within companies that are being spent. And you think about how capex is spent. This isn't generally on, lots of intrinsical running of a business. This is going to be like, oh yeah, get the engineer guys to come in because we want to build this new Hadron Collider or whatever the hell it's going to be. So actually, this is a stimulus. Like, spend more capex, get more things moving and grooving. Like, it's a pretty big deal, in fairness. Pretty big deal. And then you sort of double down on the fact that the UTXO realized price distribution is also potentially shouting bullish news. Well, look at this. Bitcoin 84,570, the support that matters. Well, we held that support strong. 112 is the ceiling to watch. I think we talked about some key price targets, but, again, to understand where this kind of goes is a big deal. And we'll see where this realized price distribution and how this can sell off. Don't forget, we're going to get some pretty challenging moves to the upside. But like I said, key elements right now are where this sits to. And in my opinion, like I said, this chart is, again, pretty interesting. We see the massive amount of volatility. You can see here the dates and the prices going along the bottom. So, ATH, is it on the cards? Maybe. We have some strong wins going over here. Where you're at, right, Curtis? Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. MA Cop, what's going on, buddy? I'm willing to be that the market does not budge until December 20th. Holy crap, why? You can't come in and be like, oh, bro, market's not moving till 20th. Come on. If you got insider, mate, you need to let us know. Oh, okay, in the Discord. I found out today that Robin had already listed Say. Really? That's nice. Stimulus. I just rewrapped Gifted Third. Come on, Vincent. And you can do better than that. Put some glitter on it. Jesus. What happened to the project breakdowns you had started to do a while back? Yeah, I need to bring that back, really. It's because the market's crap, isn't it? So... yeah, we need to bring that back, really. Maybe we pick a specific night to do it on. Maybe like Friday nights. Friday night, the first part is project night. I don't know. I was thinking about putting some in the Discord as well, which is like, what do you want to talk about tonight? But this tonight is a bit like, because obviously sentiments change a little bit. People are like, oh, here we go. Market might be turning back. Bull market might be coming. Let's get it. So I thought we'd talk about how likely the bull market coming back, or certainly what is the thing that we need to look at, in terms of pushing it. Think about it. This fear and greed index is now at 18. We've been at 9. Like it's crazy, isn't it? In a week, we've doubled the fear and greed index. Everyone's, no one's completely losing their mind, but we are sort of, close to it, I think is probably fair to say. Note, by the way, yet again, this is interesting, right? And we'll get your thoughts on it. Let me know in the chat. BlackRock buying Bitcoin again. In fact, they were the only ETF that bought Bitcoin out of the majority of them. Grayscale selling a little bit bitwise. ARK 21 didn't really do anything. But yeah, BlackRock again buying just under 500 Bitcoin. But the note here, look at this Solana one, man. Solana is going wild, bro. I mean, literally freaking wild. And yeah, I mean, kind of crazy to think about if you ask me. But we're definitely seeing more and more bullish momentum coming in for Solana, which I think is a good news story, by the way. Oh man, they deleted this. Did they delete this website? That is the most annoying thing in the world. But yeah, good news if you ask me. What's also worth noting, by the way, XRP holding up pretty well, which is good news. 43 million. So it feels like we're going to flatline around that number. So you've got some reasonably positive numbers coming in on those Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs. Solana ETFs obviously looking pretty strong. That's not what I want to show you. This one is also holding up pretty well as well. So, you know, look, you can't deny that there is a small sentiment of optimism returning into the market, in my opinion. Week market is arguably a good time to do it. Could be good to do once a week. Yeah, 100%. I was actually talking to Mark Noby earlier on as well about, you know, getting somewhere in the Discord that could be that we could do some sort of like fundamental analysis or technical deep dives into companies as an example. Like MicroStrategy would be a really fun one to kind of do a bit of a deep dive where everyone gets on a Discord call and we just like poke and prod and find things that are going on. I think that could be way loads of fun. But yeah, again, if I could just be full-time on crypto and YouTube, that'd be great. Do you know how I get to do that? You hit the like button, drop a comment on TikTok, smash up this, don't smash up the screen, but yeah, my point. Yeah, my point. Sick of the up and down, especially with XRP. Yeah, I get that. XRP's been holding up okay, though, in the last couple of days. So, good. Right, that kind of takes us through that. Now, what else we got coming up, which I think is worthwhile noting? The White House project tax refund, I thought was hilarious. Look at this. The 2026 tax refund will be the largest in history. This will be a bullish stimulus for markets, by the way. So you've got rate cuts coming in. We're going to give people in America loads of money, just like, hey, here's a stimulus check, like crack on, go and spend it on whatever you want. This could, again, argue that we might get a little bit more positive news, which is good. What's going on Fairground, which I think will be good news as well. So, you know, aligned to that, that's going to be pretty bullish if you ask me. Visa are going big again. Visa stablecoin entering the market. This is going to be one of the metrics to keep an eye on, by the way. I don't want to hear the word tax, please. Okay, I got you. This is going to be one of the things I definitely think to keep an eye for. About 42 million Tiberio Tib. I'm just going to call you Tib. I'll call you Tib, it's fine. Binance reserves are dropping fast as long-term institutional buyers accumulate XRP. Yeah, I saw that. Have I got that chart here? Have I got that chart? I did look at that. Maybe not. I thought I did have that chart, actually. I did, but anyway. So yeah, Visa partnering up, like going big. Look at this. Visa has selected Aqua now to expand stablecoin settlement across SEMA, enabling issuers and acquirers to settle with approved stablecoins like USDC. Imagine if like USDC comes back in as like the bit, you know, like the super bullish one, which would be kind of pretty crazy if you ask me. But yeah, definitely an interesting statement right now. Lots of interesting stuff going on, specifically with, you know, here we go. I thought I had it somewhere. Binance, specifically with this kind of stuff. So yeah, watch out for Visa. Certainly might be interesting and might play out more favorably. So yeah, to Holmes' point, look at this. Binance XRP reserve have fallen to about 2.7 billion, one of the lowest ever. A steady outflow shows investors piling tokens up. By the way, if you want to stay ahead of the game, I highly recommend you hit the subscribe button. Highly make sure you follow me. But I post some of this kind of stuff on X as well. So you can see here, top 10 exchanges of outflows of XRP. And you can see that Binance one last 24 hours, 5.51 million out of there. Upbit had a little bit of an intrip, albeit got hacked today, which isn't great. But Bitstamp, Coinbase, Kraken, all seeing mass outflows of XRP, which is kind of interesting to think about. If you want to stay up to date, by the way, check out all the links in the description, or just simply join my Discord. It's totally worth it. Yeah, all the big players are definitely integrating stablecoins for sure. So what else did we get for XRP? Well, look at this. Ripple's ROUSD recognized as an accepted fiat reference token for use within Abu Dhabi's ADGM. Now, basically, what does this mean? It means you can use it as like collateral. Like, it's wild. Like, this is genuinely crazy when you think about it. But the USD-backed stablecoin has been recognized by the recognized and accepted fiat reference token by Abu Dhabi's Financial Service Regulatory Authority. Our USD is now eligible for use by authorized persons licensed by the FSRA to carry out applicable regulated activities, provided that they satisfy the maintain compliance within the firm level regulatory obligations relevant to the use of fiat reference tokens. Pretty big news. You can basically go and buy freaking houses, real estate, cars, like you can like pay for mortgages and God knows what else. Like, this is a big deal. And don't forget, Abu Dhabi's got some of the most favorable tax stuff out there. Zero income tax, capped at 9% on capital gains tax, zero inheritance tax. Like, yeah, it's crazy. No wonder RL's USD wants to be out there. Exchange getting drained of XRP, which means they will have to buy more, only pushing the price up. Let's hope so. was having an interesting chat last night about like the escrow and, you know, what could happen with that. And you're like, nothing's going to happen with that. They're just going to hold on to it or sell it to banks. So the big question in everyone's mind, by the way, will Bitcoin go above 100K? All right. Will Bitcoin be back above 100K? Let's start a poll. Will BTC, be back over 100K by the end of next week? Question mark. Right, you do that. I want to see it on TikTok. I want to see it here as well. So let's poll. Quick poll. So smiley face, it'll be over 100K. Sad face, it won't. Go. Let's see what TikTok come in with as well. Likewise, YouTube, you're not as precious, but lots of debate right now and lots of global macroeconomic dynamics playing significant roles in optimistic expectations. The big one will be, two things really: Fed rate cuts and the potential of Kevin Hassett getting involved in the Fed chair, because Trump should announce it, I think, this side of Christmas. Just my opinion. So this could be a big deal. And I think if you get the announcement of Kevin Hassett, I'd expect markets to rally on the back of it. You can see there, while markets focus on renewed upward trend, volatility remains high. Bitcoin gained 1.69% in the last 24 hours. On a weekly basis, it's up 5.11%. So let's think about, how does Bitcoin break back above 100K? Well, the reality, we need to see it break a couple of these key levels. And I think when we see these key levels break, we could actually see a nice little move. If you take, for example, the last 2 days, which has been about a 6.5% move here. Well, where are we at right now? Let's take another 6.5%. So if we did something similar at 97K, that's 2 days. If you took the week, or where we sit right now, you're at 10.3%. If we had a similar move right now from where we are, 10.3 takes us to about $101,000. So if the same that we've seen happens again for the next week and a bit, we could be over 100K. Fed rates cut December 10th, hoping for 0.5. So I am still in a world where I think 0.5 may come in, right? But we'll see. I think a lot of stuff has to happen. We don't have a lot of data coming out. Remember, earnings is kind of done now for the year, isn't it? So we're not going to see lots of earning reports come out. CPI is done, so we don't get any more CPI this year. We get a little bit on Monday for the ISM. That could be an indication. Where is it predicting right now? 49.4. Man, if we can get the forecast 50, by the way, if we could get that, if we get the ISM manufacturing prices and the ISM manufacturing PMI, which is currently predicting 48.7, forecast 49.3, just get that over 50. You probably get a bit more of a pump into the markets, because people will go, oh, there we go, PMI's in. Markets in expansion. Let's get it. Like, I'm going to go and order a new Tesla. Here we go. So I think Monday could be an important day to see. And then Tuesday, sneaking under the radar, Jerome Powell is going to be talking. So we'll see what that absolute chopper is going to talk about. But yeah, apparently he's going to be talking at 1 a.m. in the morning, which I assume is just a late time for US. Alts look dead. Some do. Some are holding up, some are holding up their holding their own up. We'll see. More volume back next week. Yeah. What do you think about Jake Claver's domino theory? I don't know enough about Jake, and I don't want to speak ill or badly of anyone, right? I just don't, because I feel like some people just don't know what they're talking about. And I'm not saying he doesn't, by the way. He's a multimillionaire and he has way more money than me, and he's been running this market. But I struggle a little bit when you're like, oh, Bitcoin's going to be $1 million by the end of this year. You know, I literally have been unfollowing so many people on Twitter because I'm sick of seeing nonsense that gets put on there where they're like, oh, well, Adele just spent $100 million on Ethereum. And you're like, no, they haven't. Like, it's just like a ridiculous thing. Just put 2 pictures and go, Adele bought Ethereum. No, shit. Get the hell out of it. Anyway. It's not as black and white as that. No, I know it's not, Holmes. I was saying that's where people would get to. That I think if the PMI breaks 50, people are going to go, oh my God, we're in expansion. Here we go. Of course, it's not as obvious as that. I mean, you don't think by now I'm in that place, do you? But yeah, there's a ton of stuff that would need to sit on the back of it. But I personally think a break above 50, if PMI comes in, because that will be bullish, that'll be the first time it's been over 50 in the last couple of years, then you might get a move on the back of it. I'm not saying that would be a guaranteed bull market indicator, but certainly you could argue that people would, I think, feel a little bit more optimistic about it. In some altcoin news, by the way, look at this. Avalanche's ETF race up as Bitwise becomes the first to add staking. Here we go. This is another theory, by the way, that I think could be a massive driver through 2026. If you want to believe, like if you were to say, what would be the big reasons to drive markets in 2026? ETF staking could be a big one. Think about it. 7% Solana ETFs right now. People can like put capital in them, sit back, relax, and enjoy 7%. Like it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. So, you know, we'll see. A lot of people who made big money in this market just got in early. Doesn't mean they actually, yeah, I agree. Full of it, but he brings in great. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true as well. Sol got hacked again. Upbit did, didn't it? Upbit did. Yeah, 2-bit streams coming from Canada. Get ready for that. It's going to be exciting next year. Go and see Alvin. All those ETFs are bearish. What? Go on. Tell me why you think they're bearish. I think I already know, but I want to know. I want to hear it from you, bro. Gremlin coin. I don't know anything about it, but if you stick around, let me know in about 10 minutes. I'll take a look at it on the DeFi charts if that is a coin that might be worth looking at. Don't know if it is or not. Sol Network got hacked in Upbit's possession. Yeah. What did they get? About 36 million, I think it was. Which is wild if you think about it. Like 36 million just gets hacked and no one does anything about it. Thoughts on Hedera? Yeah, look, I mean, it's been holding up reasonably well. 14 cents right now. You could argue it's on a pretty nice discount from where it's been. Can it rally? Of course it can. I think a lot of people put a lot of hope on this whole ISO 222 compliance stuff. Hasn't really done anything, to be honest. Let's just call a spade, but still may give us some maybe give us a little bit, may not. I think you sort of have to make a choice, don't you, between like Hedera, God, I can't think, Algorand, XRP, you know, all those kind of things. So yeah, we'll kind of wait and see where that all filters through, in my opinion. What do you think is going to happen with Tether when the Clarity Act is passed? I mean, I don't necessarily think a lot will happen with it. I think it's more for exchanges, if I'm honest. Because if you think about Tether, they are reasonably well audited, certainly more so since the whole Luna collapse, etc. The fact is that it will be scrutinized from a more regulatory stance, and basically if they screw about, they go to prison. Which at the minute, as much as you probably do for something that big, then you know there is an element that maybe not. But you think about kind of where it's going to work through, then this, I mean, the big thing here is the CFTC is going to look after it as opposed to the SEC. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think you'll see kind of where the majority is going to sit. Is it going to be USDC? I think, by the way, that's why RLUSD is sort of positioning itself. But yeah, I don't necessarily, I think they've been pretty legit since the kind of whole stuff that's been signing off. So yeah, interesting to see. The Genius Act sorted Tether out. Yeah, that could be a thing. JR, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Oh, Jay, you changed your name. The J-R, bullish. 2-bit, when was the last time you pumped treble? I haven't even looked at it. Is it still, I see it occasionally on X. I still have a bag staking, actually. I actually still have treble staked. So I don't know where it's at right now, but where is it at? Jesus, 9 cents. Yeah, that's not great, is it? That is not great, but I guess, hey, it is what it is. I imagine that's probably not worth a lot then. 9 cents. I think I had it's probably worth like $150 or something over there. Do you hold any leverage? I wouldn't say regularly. I do leverage trade, but not. I'll normally trade breakout opportunities or dip opportunities. Like that's kind of where I'm at. I wouldn't say that I'm like a trader, but I understand market structure and stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm super crazy. We do put charts and stuff in the Discord. Totally free Discord, by the way. If you want to get involved in that, then highly recommend it. You guys were going big on some of your charts yesterday, like loads of free, not even joking here, everybody, free alpha in the Discord yesterday. Lots of interesting charts, theories on, price movements. Like, bro, if you're not in our Discord, I just don't know what you're doing with your life. I honestly don't know what you're doing with your life. So get your asses in our Discord. Totally free, definitely worth it. But Jesse was posted in there. Logitech was posted in there. Everyone was kind of going super crazy bullish, which is great. So, yeah. Biggest alt holdings right now, Solana, Ethereum, and XRP. They're my probably 3 top bags. Solana still fully staked, 7.25% APR. Thank you very much. I'll take that. Ethereum holding up. I did sell some Ethereum though, just like I can't remember what it was. It was like 103 or something for Bitcoin. I think ETH was like 4,000 maybe, or 3,800, something like that. Anyway, I sold like my fun DeFi Ethereum. My main holdings like still sat in my ledger really. So yeah, but yeah, Melania, don't even speak to me about that coin. Jesus Christ, Melania coin. No, thank you very much, bro. Yeah, get him, Tim, if you're there, mate. Just get whatever that. Can we put that as like I need to put that as a word that isn't allowed to be typed in the chat. But yeah. Do you think Cosmos 16.2% risky through? I mean, the only thing I would say we're like, well, probably not in fairness, Curtis. I think all of those are pretty solid, if I'm honest. The only thing to be mindful of is I don't know if there's any lock periods on it. So they tend to be Cosmos, you know, it's like Cosmos, Axler. What else do they do? Loads of like random coins. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot staked other than Solana. Michael Ramos. What a fucking name that is. You just joined the Discord. Let me see. How have you? Natalie from the KSX Exchange has just joined. Be careful what you say there. Chris Ryan says you're the best at responding to live comments I've seen in the industry. I think you'll do well based on this first time watching. Chris, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I try my best. And my view, by the way, strong community, you make more money. That's the reality of it. And I still stand by this, by the way. I'm getting sentimental on you guys. I still think we've got one of the best communities out there. I just remember gilping out or I chuck you out the way. What? I will always remember gipping out of that window or gipping out. Gipping out that out or I will chuck you out of the window. What? What does that even mean? You need to put that again. It doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to read it, but I have no idea what that means. Crypto with Bitcoin is 100k, we'll pump then dump. I mean, look, it's got to get above 100k. Oh, I think someone just joined the Discord. Is that you? We've got to get above 100k, in my opinion, by the way. We've got to get above that. And I think, I mean, if you try and work out price movement, which is nearing up impossible, but history tells us that generally speaking, on weekends, we have a relatively solid-ish Saturday, crap Sunday, right? However, last Sunday, there you are. Last Sunday was okay. Last Sunday was pretty good, actually. Monday held up. It probably started this little move in the market. So, you know, we're tracking, what's the average we're doing now? 2% maybe? We got a negative move there, but generally speaking, uptrends are 2%. So let's say for every 2 days, every 3%, we dump 1%, right? So 2% move. So if you said, well, I'm going to do 2% here, that takes us to roughly, what does that take us to? 93,000 as an example. Monday, or I mean, we might not do 2. So you're probably talking back end of next week, aren't you? You're probably talking Thursday, Friday, next week could be, based on current movements, that we might see it. Now, if you were to get, let's say we get ISM data coming in good. Thank you, Vern, man. I appreciate it. Bullish. Shout out to you. And don't forget, everybody, tap the screen, lock a couple of likes in. It pushes the channel out, gets people to know we're here. Really, guys, one other thing as well, to shill you guys. You have been crushing it. Look at them. Holy crap, Vern. Crushing it, which, by the way, is massively boosting the channel. So keep up the good work, guys. You're crushing it, and I really, really appreciate it as well. So if we were to get something like a decent ISM PMI, right? So that's going to come in Monday. Previous 48.7, consensus and forecast right now 49.3. If that could tip to 50.2 or something like that, then that could be pretty good news. What else have we got? In fact, let me bring this over here so you guys can see it as well. So we got this here. This is the big one, look. ISM manufacturing PMI, the previous at 48.7, forecast is 49.3. What's worth noting here is that we haven't been above 50 since January of 2025, which, if you remember, if you go back to January 2025, this was when the market was like proper cooking. Do you know what I mean? This is kind of when we fully broke a new all-time high. You were like, yes, baby. So this is why a lot of people kind of predict the same thing. Equally, if you say, well, when was the worst one? July. You then kind of give us that idea of the markets. You can see this kind of push down here was July. So if we can get a good PMI, let's say we get a decent PMI, Fed chair comes in. I don't even know where he's speaking, but let's say he comes in and he's like, well, where the market's not as weak as we think it is, and the jobs market is stabilizing. Don't forget, we actually had a decent-ish jobs report. It still was bad, but it was better than I think a lot of people expected. So let's say you get a decent-ish Fed discussion, which could be good news. Not a lot's going to happen with import-export stuff. No one really cares. We then get another good jobless report. Let's say we get 210, 208 as an example. Because don't forget, you're going to get seasonality work coming in. So all those like people that want to pretend they're Santa, might come down a little bit. So let's say we get 210 on jobs. That could be pretty good news. You then get revised 15-year mortgage rates down. So it's not worth, basically you're showing inflation is going to come down. And then we get a good PCE, right? Let's say we get a 0.2, let's say we get 0.26 on PCE. I mean, it's a lot that has to go around. I might as well go and put a 10 football game pools on and hope I get it right. But yeah, I guess that could play out. Where does that sit us? You'd argue then we're probably going to be in a world that you'd expect a move to the upside on BTC. Just my opinion. But there's a lot that's got to go right first. We have exactly the same structure compared to the last cycle. Bear market is close. Yeah, I wouldn't debate the bear market isn't close, by the way. The debate will be, will we get, I guess, the second bounce or not? We'll see. 2-bit, if BTC goes above 100k and alt prices stayed as they were, are you redeploy your stablecoins? Yes, I would absolutely. If Bitcoin breaks 100k and retests with volume and breaks back to the upside, so very much like if we were to go, let's just take this last move. So you can see here, look, as Bitcoin moves up, we then kind of get a key. So we get the break, followed by the retest, followed by the continuation to the upside. That would be my view. I want absolute confirmation that we're in a good place. And then, yeah, I would be tempted to ladder my positions back in. Because even at 100k, you would assume then that if the bull market's going to go on, we're going to go higher than 125k. That would be, that would be the obvious assumption, wouldn't it? That would be the obvious assumption. Even if we did a similar sort of move from the bottom to the top, 60%, well, where does that take us to? Taking us to, 130k. Does it mean we're going to get 200k BTC? Probably not. I think that ship has sailed, unfortunately. I think there's too much macro headwinds against us, but we will see. And I think that could take us there. 135, maybe like Super Bowl case. Let's say the Fed cuts in December. Let's say that they start QE. Now, there was a rumor today, and we need to look at this, actually. There was a rumor that the Fed did actually print some money today, and I don't know how true that was. I don't know if you guys saw it. How did I get into cryptocurrency? 2017. I had a friend. No. How did I get into cryptocurrency? So I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I know it sounds crazy, but I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I thought, what a great thing to talk about was cryptocurrency. The trouble is, I was the very typical new age investor, which was I leveraged loads of money on credit cards, bought into BitConnect and got scammed for about £8,000, about $10,000. So yeah, I lost everything in 2017, came back 2020, 2021 bull market with a little bit of Ethereum that I had left, and I've been ever since. But yeah, 2017, I first got in the market. I'd seen Bitcoin before that, but I never bothered with it. Yeah, I think it's been that high for a while, but like Holmes says, it will just keep going down. Yeah. Pump it till the FOMC for another nice dump. I mean, maybe wisdom. True, but after the last ending of CT and the beginning of CE, you mean QT and QE, the market dumped. Yeah, maybe it will do. You're much better off just buying and staking Solana. I mean, I'm well in position. The thing is, I'm DCAing up on Solana. From then to now, it's like night and day. Yeah, Crypto Cowboy. I still look at some of those videos. Welcome back, everybody. When I started my original channel, by the way, my actual crypto name was Crypto Mike. Imagine that intro. Hey, everybody, it's Crypto Mike. I'm going to talk about mining. I was talking about Genesis mining. And at the same time, while I'm talking about how good the crypto mining is, I'm like, oh, shit, I'm going to lose everything here. Connor Kenny lost all in 2017 as well. You guys are like Phoenixes. The slow shows incredible strength. My view is, and I've always said this, by the way, as long as you learn from why you lost the money, it's an investment, right? It's not a great investment. Let's be clear about that. That at that time, I remember sat there on Christmas Eve Christmas Eve with my laptop in front of me, watching this BitConnect number go down as I'm trying to exit it. And I'm like, where the fuck's this money going? It's like $8,000, 10,000 US. And I know it's on like 2 credit cards. I'm like, oh my God. Like my missus is like, oh, are you not going to come and join us? Like have some like Christmas drinks. And I'm just like, oh yeah. Anyway, here we are today though, with a portfolio that's at least, $500. Bullish. Anyway, I don't know what I was talking about then. Magic Mike, yeah, I wish. Yeah, Sol is clearly the safest alt with the staking to me. I mean, yeah, you could, ish. Thing is, you might go and buy Sol. Don't forget here, and this is an important, a lot of people get blinded by staking. I personally, and I've been in that place, by the way, I don't think you should stake on downtrends. I don't think it's a good idea. If I take my Solana position, you guys, as well as I, know that I was buying Solana at $8, at $10, like we were here, the bear market, like the bottom of the bear market, we were live, buying XRP, buying Solana. And then I staked my Solana from that day. So I bought it $8 and staked it. Because remember, I was saying, I don't really care about the price in the minute. I care about accumulating more. Same with Ethereum. Didn't care about the price. Just accumulate Ethereum. And I think the problem when you buy now, at like, let's say you buy $145, and you're staking it for 7%, if Solana drops $10, that mitigates like 6 months staking. So you just have to be sensible and mindful of where you go with it. But yeah, it's important to think about. What's up? BITUNIX! No. God, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. You've got to be strong to be in crypto. I once stood on Lego. Yeah. And you didn't even cry. You were just like, oh, Lego, bro. Get the hell out of here. Right. We are totally off track here and we need to get ourselves back on track. So, good. We'll take a look at DeFi in just a second, but I think there is definitely an argument to say that the market could rally. Definitely an argument. You only have to look at a little bit more macro stuff. The big thing that's going to be a problem is what the Fed does in December and how the macro plays out. Because yes, you could have bullish momentum in the Bitcoin and crypto markets, but if the whole macro top end, i.e. the US economy, the UK economy, I was arguing with my missus. She was like, no. The budget has had revised economic growth to 1.6%. You're like, fuck off. It's like 0.5. If you then get, more positive news that we could see it, or specifically on forecasts, because you can only really forecast it, can't you? Then, you would allow a little bit. The other bit to think about is this. Let me see if I can bring this up. Let me bring this up, which might be okay. It's going to be a little bit of a mental chart, but the other thing to think about is this: the real-time SARM rule recession indicator, right? Basically signaling the start of a recession when the 3-month moving average of the national employment rate rises by 0.5% or more relative to the minimum of the 3-month averages from the previous 12 months. Okay, so again, this is kind of going to tell us whether we are going into a recession or not. As we sit right now, we're about halfway there. So then you say, well, what influences this? Obviously, this is going to be rate cuts, job markets, the fact that, and we've said this before, the S&P 500 is built up of 47% of the Mag 7, right? That's a big thing. You get like Meta goes big, like $50 billion on some AI project that goes kaboom and it all goes tits up, then, easily could see this flip. But right now, if you were to say, are we heading for a recession today, 27th of November in the US, obviously in the UK, I think we've been in a recession now for about 50 years. You would say no. And I think that's important, right? I think that's important. But I'll go back up 2 bit. So just hold and get those rewards. Be worth a load in 2 years. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Let's hope so. What? Oh my God. Was anyone in the TikTok live last night? Was anyone in my TikTok live last night? There was someone that was messaging me on Telegram, right? Who is now ringing me. What is wrong with this person? They're a lunatic. Jesus Christ. I'm live again. Stop ringing me. It's weird. Jesus Christ. I don't even know this person. They're like spamming the living shit out of my Telegram. Can I even bring this up? I want to bring this up and show you. There you go, look. Bro, here, man, you got time. I'm here now. I work in days. I don't have like a whole day to sit in the PC, but I can pay you good money for your time up front. Stay on YouTube. Declined call. I turned on my laptop. Let's speak for short. Discord. I'm live. Don't ring me. I just come to laptop, so I can't wait today. How much will it take? Ah! It's like, Jesus Christ, bro. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Fucking hellfire. Anyway, right. Recession indicator. Good news. Will Jerome Powell come out dressed as a Grinch on the 10th of December? Can you imagine? I would love it if he did. I'd love it if he did. Will Ripple locking away supply and exchanges running out? Do you think a supply shock is coming? No. And let me tell you why. Because I mean, I got a little bit of hate from a few people. I'm not gonna say who, but they were like, bro, I thought you were like an XRP maxi. I'm like, yeah, well, look, I'm bullish on XRP as I'm bullish on Solana and everything else. I'm not a lunatic though, and I think that is important to reference here. It's easy. It'd be so easy to go, oh my God, I think XRP is going to be $50,000 tomorrow. Like, definitely, bro. And that, like, nonsense. Here's the problem with XRP as I see it, okay? As I see it. You have a circulating supply of 60.33 billion. The max supply is 100 billion. That leaves 37 or 36.63 billion locked in the escrows, right? So you almost can't even create a supply shock, even if you wanted to create a supply shock, because there's still going to be loads there. And as much as people will say, well, yeah, but it's locked with the Ripple escrow. That means that once this circulating supply is all in the hands of the banks and all that. Yeah, but there is a lot out there in terms of retail. And at the same time, as I've said a number of times, the minute XRP goes to $2.35, $2.50, $3, like you think at a $5 XRP, people are going to dump massive amounts of it? Of course they are. So I think if you're talking long-term mass adoption, global payments, integration into countries' financial markets, yeah. Could there be a supply shock in XRP? Yeah. If you subscribe to the theory that in order to move huge amounts of money around, you need a higher price XRP, then yeah, you can let that. Is it going to happen this year? No. And I think that if you allow yourself a little bit, that's how people end up holding on to projects they shouldn't hold on to. Because people just get into this weird place of like, well, yeah, but supply shocks come. When? That's like saying mass adoption for crypto's come in. Well, yeah, but probably not for the next couple of years, is it? We thought it'd be this year with all the ETFs, but we'll see. Are you more bullish on XRP or SOL long term? Man, that's a freaking great question. Thanks, Fern. That is a great question. What am I more bullish on, Solana or XRP? I think this is a proper cop-out. I would hold both, and I do hold both, and I'll tell you why I would hold both. Because XRP is one of those coins that you're not looking at it as a traditional cryptocurrency, right? You're not looking at it to revolutionize blockchain technology. You're not looking at it to revolutionize transactions per second. It doesn't matter that it's not the cheapest chain out there. What you're looking for, in my opinion, with XRP is, shut up, Holmes, is the financial markets going to adopt XRP or going to adopt the market, going to adopt the Ripple as a whole, right? Not the Ripple, but you get my point. Solana, in my view, should be more valuable than Ethereum. And the only reason I think Ethereum is worth more than Solana is because it's been here longer. So that's kind of where I get to. Yeah, 100%. But that's what I'm saying. I would hold both for very different reasons. XRP will never be the biggest, fastest, most widely used blockchain by average crypto investors. So you either then subscribe to the narrative that crypto becomes more institutionalized than ever, and actually then you could almost go down a really deep rabbit hole and say, well, I'll just be transacting on the blockchain, but I'll be using traditional banking systems. Or you go down the narrative of, well, as an XRP holder, I'm banking on basically the banks wanting my XRP. I think is sort of where we get to. But yeah, I think I'd be like 51-49 and I'd flip between what's happening. Like right now, when you look deeper beneath the skin of what's going on with XRP, so many people don't even understand what's been built or what's sort of been put together. I've been talking about this for 18 months. I use the analogy, don't always look at the price. It's like the raptor scene out of Jurassic Park. You're focused on the raptor in front of you and the two get you from the side. Clever girl. That's my opinion of Ripple, my opinion of XRP. Everyone's like, oh, the price 220, oh, mass adoption. While at the sidelines, they're building bank infrastructure. They've got partnerships with, actual traditional banks. You've got companies and countries using it that people just aren't even talking about. Let me show you something here that is certainly I think it's this anyway. There's certainly an interesting debate right now. It's a website called X Money, right? And albeit it isn't officially like, oh, it's Ripple. There's a lot to argue that it is. Partnered with Visa and MasterCard, who recently partnered with Visa and MasterCard, XRP and Ripple. You go down there, is this the front face of what's going on with XRP? Maybe, right? There's loads of stuff going on right now that lots of people don't know, see, or, get involved in. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then you think about once they are, once the Ripple Bank comes in, then what do we see? So yeah, I think you can be involved in two for very, very different reasons. Just my opinion. Now, what would be wild is if they sell the escrow to banks. That would be fucking crazy. But hey, we'll see. We will see. What do you think of the Just Cats project? I don't know what it is, if I'm honest. Is it any good? I think it's on ETH, but still pre-market. They build a 3D animated series. Brad Garlic Mouse is mixing with all the most important people in the world. It has to happen. Brad Garlic Mouse. That's the best. That's the best thing I've read all day. Brad Garlic Mouse. Shit, that's great. And it's backed by one of the studios that I still see that. I can still see it. Oh my God. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love that. I love that. Sleeper says, give us a quick update on the meme cycle, please. It's non-existent right now. That's my prediction of the meme coin markets. You haven't got enough fast money and euphoric FOMO in the markets. People are a bit too savvy. People are a bit too locked in. People are a bit too precious about where they're at with their capital right now. People don't want to deploy it. So I think whenever you are in that phase, then you will definitely not see the meme coin market rally a little bit. So memes right now for me, if you're in them, fine. I think we're relatively near the bottom of them. If you are thinking of getting into them, I'd maybe just sit tight for a second. Market cap 1.16% down, 43 billion. Volume down 15%. And actually, if you look at the 30 days, we're down 25% in market cap, 43% down in volume. No one gives a shit about meme coins right now. So important to think about that. Where people do care about, and probably the sectors that I think are going to be one to keep a very close eye on, is obviously the AI sector. So you can see there, look, market cap's up 0.4 and then volume down just a smidge. You look at the market cap for the last 30 days, the volume's down a bit, market cap down 20%, as you would expect on it. But AI is the kind of one to watch out for sure. Virtuals is coming back pretty interesting. Meme coins are just a bubble from last year. It's dead as... Yeah, exactly, Gerard. Yeah, you're absolutely 100% right. Absolutely 100% right. Ripple buying back their unlocks, though. Everyone is partnered with MasterCard and Visa. That's true, Stardog. That's true. This is why a lot of retail get screwed. They look at everything as black and white. Everything is a lot more dynamic than that to fully understand what's going on. Yeah, exactly. And half the stuff... if it's front facing for people to see, then what's going on in the background? Like, I know that for the company I work in, like they'll announce stuff and behind the scenes, there's loads of stuff that they're just like not even going to say anything. Too bad to get 200k subs in 2025. I mean, bro, we need to get a wriggle on it. But yeah, let's hope so. What does Jasmine need to drop to before you give up on it? Well, the honest answer is it's probably in a place where I'm like, I could sell it for a little bit, but, well, let's see. Let's see. I've always said longer term with Jasmine, by the way. I actually quite like what it's doing. At some point, data democratization will become a big deal. Like, it's already kind of a big deal, but I do think it has that potential to come back and be a bit of a big deal. But, yeah, it's not my biggest bag in the world, but right now, I think if we get another market move back to the upside, which could happen, by the way, we could easily rally back up here quite quickly. You look at the broader altcoin market. The question would be, can Jasmine survive multi-cycles? And if it can, then it's a bit like, fine, I'll ride with it. And if it can't, then yeah, maybe I need to get rid of it. Meme coins will be back. Yeah, exactly. Meme coins are an indicator of retail. The minute meme coins start moving, then retail's heading back to the market, which would be good. Evening, I hear AVAX has been linked with FIFA. Is that real news? Is it? I haven't heard that, and I have been reading about AVAX because they've got staking come into potential ETFs. But the only did they announce something like a World Cup or something? Holmes will probably know. Jasmine has a history of moving aggressive. Yeah, exactly. Holmes might know. Did AVAX do something with FIFA like the World Cup or the Euros or something? I feel like maybe. I feel like it's super old news if it is. And I think if it's anything, it's nothing worth writing home about. But maybe they did something earlier on in the year. I can't really remember. Can't remember. Curtis says, I think we get another leg up in the next few hours. Why? you can't. Come on, bro. You've been part of this channel long enough. You can't just come in and be like, oh, think market's going to pump. I have a feeling. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. Shut up. I need that as like a meme thing. I need that as like a, you know, something I can press. And be like, trust me, bro. Oh, man. This is you, Curtis. Trust me, bro. It's legit. Oh, I love that. Fat Sonic says, I'm shorting ETH at 33.3, trying to TP at 28.50, so who knows? Yeah, AVAX and FIFA are partnered to create a dedicated L1 blockchain called FIFA blockchain, which will serve as the foundation of FIFA's. Okay, yeah, I thought they were. I thought they were. Man, this guy is a lunatic. I am live right now on YouTube. Come in, and I will say your name so you know I am legit. This guy's wild. This guy's crazy. Love it though. Oh man, I didn't mean to press that. What the heck is going on here? Bruh, what is happening? That's it. There we go. Got it. Do you know how many XRP ETFs are going live next week? I think there's 4, isn't there? I think there's 4 due to go live next week. I think. Let's see if we can. Forgot I had that on the chat on the screen. Let's see. XRP ETFs. I feel like there's a couple of new ones to go in next week. Let's see. 9 more XRPs to launch this week. Can they save the price? So let's just run through this list and see which ones have actually launched and which ones haven't. So 9. So we have Canary Capital, yes. Franklin Templeton, yes. In fact, let me sounds a bit like Kemi Badenoff, this, doesn't it? Income tax down. Growth down. Boom shakalaka down. Anyway, right. You guys can see that on the screen. Bitwise launched 21 shares, so that goes live next week. CoinShares physical XRP ETF. Grayscale's conversion's done. Wisdom Tree. So we've got 21 shares. Wisdom Tree. Vanek is due next week as well. So yeah, so 21 shares, Vanek, and Wisdom Tree. And maybe CoinShares. Is CoinShares on there? You guys see it? No. So yeah, so Vanek, 21 shares, CoinShares, and Wisdom Tree. The Vanek one might be quite good. Vanek one might be decent. Total volume, look at this Bitwise one, 118 milli. So this is obviously going to be the big player right now, but Franklin Templeton's doing decent numbers, 48 milli. It's holding up. It feels like I said, it feels like this is going to be a number. I said, didn't I? Anything between 38 and about 40 milli, I reckon it'd be pretty decent. So we can take that. Thoughts on PTB? I have absolutely no idea what that is. Have you heard of Estate X, ESX? No, but we can take a look at it on the old DEX tools. See what it says. Are you joining the Sentinel pre-sale? So I actually have got a video coming out about it. So I'm currently deep researching at the minute. I think if it does what XCL did, I mean, Jesus, that was a great pre-sale. Will it? It's a bit like doing a sequel, isn't it? Was Scream 5 better than Scream 1? Maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, I mean, it looks all right in fairness. PTB, Portal to Bitcoin. Is this it? Or partial to Portal? Yeah, Portal to Bitcoin. It's got a lot of red flags on it. Why has it got so many red flags on it? Is it this one? Or not? I mean, it's the only one that comes up as PTB. $19 million market cap, 3,000 holders. Volume looks absolutely awful. I don't know if it's this one, by the way. I don't know if it's this one or not. I mean, I'm more meant for an instant pump perspective. Yeah, ETF's going to eat up a supply. Then when the fuss is over and the supply low, the big dogs can get it. I mean, that maybe, yeah. Maybe. I'm down for it. The Green Hornet. Oh my God, the Green Hornet. Follow me. Let's go. Green Hornet. Yeah, really interesting project. Okay. I don't know too much about it, but their volume is awful. And they have audits that aren't good. So contract is not verified. Really? Man, yeah, they've got... see, this normally happens... this can't be right. This can't be it. No way. This isn't not right. Let me have a look. Yeah, it must be somewhere else. For some reason, that DeFi one looks bad. Let's... PTB. Launched 4 days ago. The liquidity's dreadful. Where is it listed? Pancake Swap. Oh, it's on quite a few exchanges. Okay. This feels a bit better than what we were just looking at. Jesus, what we were just looking at looks absolutely terrible. So, yeah, I don't know much about it, but don't buy it on a DeFi platform. Buy it on an exchange, I would say. Millions of trust minimized markets on Bitcoin. Interesting. Investors, Coinbase Ventures. Good. I mean, look, it's got some big backing. I don't know enough about it, but I mean, yeah, I wouldn't buy it on a DeFi. I like this. This is kind of cool. With that. Whoa. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't know too much about it. What do you think about Fogo? Airdrop is live and launching in some weeks. I don't know anything about it, but we can... I'm down for having a look, for sure. Take a butchers at ESX, please, mate. I have a small amount. Okay, let's take a look at that. What's it called? Estate what? Dex tools. It dumped because BTC dumped. Is it tied to BTC, is it? ESX. It's called Estate X. Down, what's that? Down 2.1%, is that? Yeah, 2.6%. And you want my just flat out honest opinion, yeah? In fact, I won't do it. I'll let chat do it. It's way easier. Chat knows what I'd say. Chat knows what I'd say. It's where you're at. $4.43 million market cap. Volume is at $109,000. It's not bad volume, by the way. The pooled ESX is at 0.3, so that's pretty good. The chart, however, is it's garbage. It's garbage. Now, if it's got some insane utility that's going to come back and like skyrocket this to, you know, the moon, then fine. But the chart looks terrible. So I certainly would not be buying any of this. Curtis, maybe. Just my opinion. And I don't TikTok, I don't know if you want to see it, but I don't know if you want to make your own minds up. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look a great chart, if I'm dead honest. Does not look a great chart, but yeah. No dramas, Fox. As always, a pleasure. Again, only my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor yet. Who was I talking to the other day? I was talking to someone. It might have been Vern, actually. But, you know, like last year. So for anyone who's brand new to the channel, by the way, we try and do things a little bit different here on the channel, which is why I don't understand why like 1 million people don't watch me every single night. But anyway, that's an ego trip on my part. When in the last bear market, we put about, I think it was like 12 or 14 people through technical analysis courses. We paid for it out of the channel and we let people go and understand charting, let people understand market structures. I actually want to do like a financial advisor course. I think it'd be cool as cucumbers to do it. So we might look to maybe funding that. I don't know how much they are, but yeah, we might fund that in the bear market, give or take, and put some people through a financial analyst course, which I think would be hilarious. You know, when people go, "What are you, a financial? You're not a financial bros," and you're like, "Well, actually, I can't give you personalized financial advice, but yeah, I'm actually a financial advisor, so get the hell out of it." It'd be pretty wild. So, but yeah, watch out for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's what I would say. Fogo, yeah, I am going to check it out. Sorry, someone just sent me a message right now that I need to read on X. Fogo. Price not tracked. Is it this? I don't know where I'd find it though. That's the only problem. Right. Ooh, this is kind of bullish. I need to save this. Look at this. Look at this. It's been sent this. This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. I like it. XRP ETF tracker. Track holdings, flows, volume, and real-time free live dashboard. Decent. Look at this. Look at this TikTok. We've got current price, AUM, XRP locked. That's pretty bullish. Total number of supply. You've got volume. This is kind of cool. XRP locked in ETF vaults. I like that. Nice. and then goes into each of the specific ETFs, timelines, and then a bit of advertising so they can fund it. Right, cool, like it. Decent. Dazak, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for whatever they are, the little cats. I appreciate that. If that's XP Markets, I posted it in Discord. It's xrp-insights.com. Yeah, this one, check the website. Okay, let me... what's it called? What's it called? FOMO? FOGO? Trade without compromise. Is it this thing, yeah? Is this it? Looks like JR's signal there. Purpose-built L1. FOGO core. Trading ecosystem. SVM. Solana virtual machine, by the way, if anyone doesn't know. L1 compatibility. Nice. Okay. Yeah, looks okay. What is it? It's in pre-sale. To be checked by siren messages. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, bro? What does siren messages mean? I don't know what that means. What does it mean? UK tax. UK tax advisor course, man. And yeah, we need to sort that out. We need to sort that out, by the way. You deserve at least 999. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I just want everybody to win. That's all I'm here for. I want everybody to win and no one to lose. And if we can win as a community, then I am ecstatic. That's what I want. My message with it. Where was that, though? Oh, your message with the siren. Hold on a minute. Where was that? Is it like back in the chat? You mean like back in this chat? Oh, there we are. I'll give you financial advice. Trust me, bro. Oh, dear me. Is that a new token, Fogger? Yeah, I don't know anything about it, though. I don't know anything about it. So, yeah, that's just what someone brought up, by the way. So, yeah, I don't know anything about it, to be honest. What is this? What is going on here? This feels like proper insane. Yes. Yeah, Nick. I'm literally looking at your chat actually right now. Nicolabro Gamble. Yeah. What's going on, bro? That is me. Yeah, I said, didn't I? Like, come on the live stream. I don't know how I prove it to you other than tell you that your actual name is Abro Gamble. There we are. Then you know it's me. Yeah, he's Telegram, bro. He's Telegram. Let's see what they can offer for the white pages. Oh, dear me. Yeah. All good. All good. VeChain. I mean, look, VeChain may be the White House. When's the White House VeChain thing, by the way? When is that? I feel like, has it already been organized or not? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The VeChain. What is it? Oh, man, I can't think what it's called. VeChain UFC White House. They reckon that Conor McGregor might come back, mightn't it? The VeChain technology, real world solution. Okay, yeah. So their reaction says it all. VeChain UFC 322. 1 day ago. White House tip, subpoenaed, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I think it may do a thing. I think that's probably where they should try and like align some stuff and, you know, you kind of try and launch it at that point. But whether it'll make any, you know, big moves or not, I don't really know, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. Well, let's see what they can offer. Yeah, I like the siren messages, by the way, Curtis. I'm down for that. By the way, if you haven't already hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, I highly recommend doing so. By the way, we broke another 1,000 views tonight. Let's go, baby. So again, if you just do want to do a little, click that. And likewise here on TikTok as well, by the way. Don't think I haven't seen you guys down here making it happen. I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in as well. We are building literally a legendary community here. So again, don't forget, link to my free Discord is in the bio. It's also in the description down below. If you want to get access to that premium Discord where we have our bot that will look at market analysis and do some TA for you on DEXs, DeFi, etc., etc. Grab a channel membership. It's going to cost you about $8 a month. Subscribe here. Become a fan. A bit weird, but become a fan, and you get access to our premium Discord as well. So if you want to, if you want to get involved in that, then get bullish. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. McGregor is done. I like the guy, but yeah, I mean, I think so a little bit. But yeah. When do you do a 23-hour stream? Christmas Day. I'm going max bullish on Christmas Day. Going to full send it. I don't know, to be honest. Don't forget, I'm a 42-year-old dad of 3 as well. Like, you got to remember that. Yeah. So yeah, you got to remember that. Sonny Rajput says, now I'm the member of the 2-bit Discord. Mix a man. Let's go, baby. I like it. I mean, yeah, I feel like we should do it maybe at some point. Maybe we do it like a milestone. Maybe we do it when we hit like, I mean, we're nearly at 40,000 subscribers. Maybe we do it at 50,000. Do you reckon 10,000 subscribers? 6 months, maybe? I mean, it's been really, really hard work at the minute. That's why, honestly, when I say you guys are doing a massive, like doing a good thing, supporting the channel, being here, hitting the subscribe button, hitting the, commenting, chatting away, like you don't understand how much it does help. It really does help. Likewise, TikTok, you guys supporting down there as well, hitting the like button, doing all of that good stuff. Right now, I think I've shown you this before, but this is kind of where you can kind of see lots of stuff going on, by the way. Like, it is a grind. Look at this, 100 subscribers in the last 14 days. Like, that's how hard work it is. People just don't care about crypto at the minute. It's bizarre. Like, no one cares. But what I would say, though, is and obviously you compare yourselves to a few others, but if I compare myself to, let's say, the same competitive individuals that are within my niche, let's call it, we are actually outpacing most of them, in fairness. So the channel's growing way quicker than others. So, for example, you can't see the name of this particular channel, but I'll show it anyway. So you can see this channel just isn't growing. Their view count is like awful. At least we're still knocking in, nearly 200,000 views a month. So, so the channel's definitely growing. It's just hard work, right? It's just hard work. So that's why I appreciate it. I appreciate every like. I appreciate every comment. I appreciate every time you come and spend a bit of time with me. And hopefully then, hopefully we can just kind of make sure we're super bullish as well. We can have another 100K party, then another one, I hope so. Dead cat pounds before dropping to new all-time lows. Oh, shit. Let's hope not. Yeah. Good. Right, man, it's 10:15. Holy crap, I've been live for like an hour and 22 minutes. I am getting out of here. As always, I appreciate you guys taking a little bit of time out to come in. The vote, 58% of you believe that we'll be at 100K by the end of next week. Let's hope so. Maybe a tad bit of hope in there, but hey, a lot of things can happen in a week. A lot of things. Did much happen in the market today? I've been busy. No, not really, Mouse. It had a little bit of an uptrend, up about 1%. Altcoins are pretty much behind where they need to be behind, but at the same time, Bitcoin kind of rallying. Bitcoin dominance, though, just note at 59.2. Remember, we talked about this, by the way. So this Bitcoin pump, Bitcoin dump thing, this kind of scenario that we've got playing out. So, Bitcoin's kind of rallying within this. We'll see. But what I would say is, for those of you that are still celebrating, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. I appreciate every single one of you. And we'll be back. Not tomorrow. Day off. Oh, no, we are back tomorrow. Oh, my God. I don't know what day of the week it is. We are back tomorrow, as always, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK. Then we are into the weekend. So, as always, thank you so much, everybody. Tim, shout out to you. You could be anywhere, but you came here. That is absolutely true. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody. Catch you on the flip side. Take care. just letting you guys know that the Telegram blog's ringing me again. He's ringing me again. It's insane. Anyway, I'm out, people. See you soon. Bye. TikTok.